everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make business cards using your Cricut. This is super fun, but it's not exactly the way I would recommend to do it if you need lots and lots of cards. But if you just need a couple to get you through, this is a great way to do it. It's pretty easy, pretty inexpensive, but if you need a lot of them, I'll link some of my favorite places to order from down below because I think they come out a lot better. I'll compare these cards to the ones that I've ordered so you can see kind of the difference in the quality, but we're going to show you how to use different fonts, how to make sure everything's flattened, how to make the corners round, all sorts of things so that you can make a quick business card using your Cricut. Now be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube, that way you don't miss out on any of the fun crafty content we have coming. And without further ado, let's get started. Here in Design Space, we're going to first make a template for the business card. So I'm going to open up my shapes and you can use the rounded corner square or the rectangle or the one that has the sharp corners. It is up to you how you want your card to look. I prefer a rounded corner look, but again, do you. So these are going to be 3.5 inches wide. So I'm going to type that in. And then I do need to unlock this, which I did forget to do, but it's only going to be 2 inches high. So that's your standard business card size. Now I'm going to change the color of this just so that I can see it a little bit better. Now, another thing that I personally like to do is I'm going to zoom in because it is awful small and I just like to be able to see it a little bit better while we're working on it and adding our information. So for a business card, typically you're going to want like your name, your title, whatever information you want to add would be like website, how they want to contact you, anything like that that you may want to add to your business card. Plus, if you have a logo, that's always a good option to add. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some text to this. So I'm going to first just add my name. Now, because we're zoomed in, you'll notice, did you see the text come up at all? It's because we're zoomed in. So what you can do is you can zoom back out and you can see your text a little bit better. So you may have to zoom in and out a little bit depending on how you are working with your design. So I'm going to type in the name. So that's going to be me. And I'm going to make this so it's like for my crochet business, which is a little bit different than, some of my other stuff. Now, if you have a specific font that you use, that's cool. If not, choose one that's easy to read. So I'm going to go through these fonts and just find one that's easy to read. You'll notice that I don't have nearly as many fonts as normal. It's because I got a new computer and have not installed the fonts yet because I wanted to kind of pare down what I have and maybe start over a little bit. But you choose whatever font you want. You can upload any font you want or install it, to your computer. So I think this one will work for the design. So I'm going to size it down and I want to place it on to the card. Now I do want this to be a little bit smaller than probably like where I'm going to put my logo. So I'm going to put that right there. Now I need to add some more text to this, obviously, because we need them to be able to contact us. You want them to know who we are. So I'm going to go ahead and use Control C and Control V on my keyboard, which is Control C is copy and Control V is paste. And that way I can just use the same text box and put my title in. I'll size that down quite a bit. I don't want it maybe quite that small, but I don't want it as big as my name. So I do want to size that down a bit. I'm going to just kind of get it lined up. We'll reline everything up in just a few minutes. Now I want to add like the information on how they can contact me. So I will put like my website here. So I'm just going to put my website and I can't type. I got a new keyboard too, which if you guys don't know, when you get a new keyboard, holy Moses, is learning how to type on it a whole adventure. Now, this may not be the best font for like the website information. So you can change your font. And I would recommend that like if you want to use a stylized font, use that like through your name or your title, but when it comes to how you're going to contact someone, you want that really easy to read. So I'm just kind of clicking through because some of these look easy to read, and then when you actually like look at them, they're a little tough. But that one looks pretty good, so we'll go with this one. So you want your website, and like I said, I'm gonna kind of distribute these in just a minute. But like now, let's say, okay, I want them to contact my website, and then they can email me. And so we'll put our email in. And there's our email. All right, good enough for now. So you can, like I said, add whatever you want to add to it in order for them to find you, to contact you. Now, I do want to add my logo to this. So I am going to go to upload and I'm going to upload my image and I'm going to browse for it. And my logo is right here. So I'm going to select it. Now, this already has a transparent background. So I'm just going to click continue. And it is a PNG. It is a high quality PNG, so it may take a second to load. But there's our PNG. Now you'll notice it looks a little blurry. Don't worry, that's just Design Space. I want to save it here as a flat graphic so that I can use it to print on to my business card. I'm going to go ahead and click upload, and it's going to place it on to my Design Space. Now it may come in really, really big. As you can see, it's huge, so I am going to size it down. I'm just going to size it down to like 2 inches. We'll need to size it a little bit more here on our card. So as you can see, it's pretty big still, so you size it down, and you can place it anywhere on your card that you want to. It's truly up to you and how you want your card to look. Do you? I'm not the one to tell you how to set this up or the way you want it to look. But what I do recommend is having a balance to your card. So like, see how everything's over on the left-hand side? That makes the card feel super unbalanced. So a lot of times what I will do is, especially with a logo like this, where it is pretty large, like I could fill the whole card with it, I will make the logo a little bit smaller, put it over on like the left or the right side, whatever side I'm, decided I want it on. And then I will move all of this stuff over to the other side. That way it's a little more balanced. And then we do still have this blank area, which would be a great space to put like a QR code or any other like pertinent information, maybe a little photo of yourself, whatever you want to put in that corner is a great option. Now, QR codes, I use QR Code Monkey a lot because those are completely free, but Canva is really going to be your best bet for a QR code. And I'll show you really quick how to create that. So over here in Canva, I usually will just pick Instagram post square because that's like a good size. It's totally fine. And then over under apps is where you're going to find how to make a QR code. And you can honestly just search QR and it will bring up what you're like looking for. And you can just choose QR code generator. There's a bunch of different options here, but I find that really this one works perfectly fine. So I'm going to enter the website. So I'm going to want them to go to CorinneBlackstone.com. And you can make this go to a specific page. You can make it go to a video. You can make it go to anything that has a web address. Then you can go to customize and like change any of the colors that you want to, but I'm just going to leave it as is and generate the code. Now I do tend to make this the size of the design just so that it's nice and big. Then you're going to go to share and you're simply going to download this, and you're going to download this as a PNG. I'm going to save it into my business card folder and click save. Now we'll head back to Design Space, and over in Design Space, you're going to click upload. You're going to upload that image. We'll browse for it. And here it is in the business card folder. Go ahead and select it. Now you don't want to do anything to this. Remove the background. You can leave the background. It will work a little bit better if it's a white background. As long as your card color is a light colored background, you'll be fine. We're going to keep it as a light colored background, and I'm going to click apply and continue. And I'm going to choose flat graphic and click continue. Then just go ahead and upload it in. And again, this is probably going to open huge, but you'll just simply size it down to fit on your card. Now, again, you can take the background off. Just make sure that your card is a light color. I'm just going to kind of leave it as like this yellow just to show you what it looks like. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can kind of play around with our like spacing and stuff a little easier. So again, I could add like a second or third information down here to like where I want them to contact me. I'm going to copy this and paste this again so that I have that same font. And this one, let's give them our IG username, and that is Corinne's Cuddles. And again, really do what you want. Make sure that you have the, contact information that you want for them to find you. It's up to you, however you want to do it. And now I'm going to change some colors here. So I want this to be fully black because I just want it to look nice and crispy. And I'm going to do the same. I think all the font I'm going to make black kind of. I was going to try a different color, but I think it's going to look better black. So this is kind of how we're going to design our business card. Now I want these to all be lined up, so I'm going to hold shift and click each of my text boxes Then I'm going to go to align, and I'm going to align them left, and then I want to go to arrange. And then also under align, I can distribute them evenly vertically. That way everything kind of, looks nice and neat. I want to do the same for my name and for the owner. I just want to align them left. I don't actually need to do anything else, like as far as distribute, because there's only 2 of them. So I think that looks pretty good. This is going to be our business card. Now, I'm going to zoom back out really quick. And we need to select everything in our design, which includes the logo, the QR code, and all the text. Then you're going to go to flatten. And before I click flatten, I want you to note kind of how wide before we click flatten, I want you to note kind of how wide the text is. And when I flatten it, you'll see that it kind of thins it out a little bit. It's doing that because the original look of your font is showing you the cut line around it. When you change it to a print and cut, it removes that cut line, so it's going to look a little bit thinner. So that's something to keep in mind when you're choosing your font. I think this looks pretty all right. It's fine for, a business card. Now, would I recommend making hundreds of business cards this way? Absolutely not. First off, they typically feel a little bit cheap and they look cheap. But if you need some in a pinch and maybe you only need like 10 just to get through, that's fine. Now, I'm going to show you my business cards that I made and had printed through Canva. And I'm also going to print them here in Design Space. Now mine are 2-sided, which is very, very difficult to do. You can't really do a 2-sided print using print and cut. It is so, so hard. So what I'm going to do, let me upload those images so you can see what those look like. Now I'm ready to hit make and print these out. Now I'm going to use a 65-pound cardstock for this, which is what I would use anyways, like on a normal day. You can use a heavier cardstock if you wanted to, but this is just to show you kind of what these look like, the comparison as far as like quality is concerned with the printing, and the fact that we can't do a double-sided print, which, like I said, there are ways, and I'm debating on how to show you, but like it is such a struggle that I just don't know if it's even like worth doing. But what I'm going to do is click continue, and I'm going to send these to my printer. Now it's going to kind of tell us there's a sensor mark added, blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to print this to my ET2720, which is my inkjet printer. Now for these, I am going to leave the bleed on, and what that does is it pushes the color out just a little bit further from the edge of our design so that if it cuts just slightly off, it won't have any like white around the edges, which looks really unprofessional. I'm going to use my system dialog so that I can make sure that I get a good quality print, and I'm going to click print. Now this is not sending it to our printer. It's going to open up our printer preferences. I'll move these over so you can see them. And we're going to choose our ET2720, and I'm going to go under preferences. Now over here, I just do a couple things that I check. First, I always make sure my document size is right and my orientation is correct with portrait. Then I'm going to change my paper type from plain paper to premium presentation paper matte. Turn off my quality here. I want to turn it from standard to high, and I make sure the color is selected. There's one more setting under more options, and that is to turn off your high-speed print. This is going to allow our printer to take just a little bit more time and leave less of the lines on it that it can sometimes leave if you don't have that turned off. Now, let's say you don't have all these settings. Why don't you have them? It's because your printer drivers were not installed fully or correctly. So just go to your manufacturer's website and look for the drivers for your printer and install them. It only takes a couple minutes. From here, I'm going to click print to send it to my printer, and then we're going to head over to the machine and cut them out. The first thing we need to do is to load the design onto our mat, and we're going to make sure that the arrow that's in the upper left-hand corner will go into the mat in the upper left-hand corner. Now I am using a Hello Hobby light grip mat for this, which is why it's orange. I had a couple people wonder what these were. These are the Hello Hobby mats. I really like them, and they're pretty inexpensive, but I wanted to give this one a try with our cards. So it's going to go ahead, it'll read all of the registration lines, and then it will cut out our design. I'd run 1,000 miles if I could run with you. And from what I have heard, you do the same thing too. Once it's done, I always just double check the cut, though it should have cut just fine, which it did. So I'll go ahead and unload this. I'm going to close the machine and get it out of our way. And then what we want to do is remove these from the mat. So I'm going to flip this over, And I'm gonna roll my mat back so that I can take the cards off real easy. I'm just kind of pushing them with my finger to keep them from curling, because you definitely don't want these to curl at all. And now we have our little business cards. Now, like I said, in a pinch, these are fine, but I am going to show you the difference between the ones that I printed with Canva versus these ones. That way you can kind of see the difference. Like I said, if you need a couple, these are great. Let me get you an up close look.
Here's what the cards look like all finished. Again, I think they came out really cute, but for a lot of cards, I just wouldn't use my Cricut. It's going to cost you a lot in ink and time versus just paying like 20 bucks. Plus, you can see they're pretty flimsy and there's no back to them, so they're just white on the back. The ones that I got from Canva were $20 for 100, and I think they came out really nice. You can also order from places like Vistaprint, which always has coupons. If you don't see a sale this week, just wait a couple weeks, there will be a sale. But these are double-sided, they're much thicker, they're glossy. But again, if you just need a few, using your Cricut to make a business card is really worth it, I think, in the long run, especially if you just need to get through one show really quickly. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.